All right, let me ask you something. Have you ever built a website in WordPress and it feels like super slow and you need to install plugins and plugins and plugins for SEO, plugin for caching, plugins for whatnot, and it makes your super fast website even loads more slower, right? So that is where it comes with the concept of headless WordPress. Headless WordPress is a process where we actually segregating, or we can say decoupling, the traditional WordPress into two different parts, which is frontend and backend, where the frontend is actually going to be the visual parts of the website, which is going to be delivered directly to the user's browser, and it can be actually delivered in a couple of milliseconds, and the website loads super fast, and you don't have to do anything to make your website go faster and faster. So for this video, let's get started with the understanding what is traditional setup and what is headless WordPress setup. So as we can see on the screen itself, we have a traditional WordPress setup where we are actually going to have a server installed on a WordPress, and then installed WordPress. We use frontend and backend together, already working together to just deliver the content to the user browser. Now, if you see how it is different from the WordPress headless WordPress, so now what we do in headless WordPress is we have a server, we have WordPress installed, and at the same timing we have a frontend installed as well, where we are going to have our frontend developed by Lovable tools. Today it's super easy to just get your headless WordPress done by tools like Lovable. So what is the difference between the headless? Now coming to the headless WordPress setup, you have a server, you have a WordPress installation, and the same server you have your React, or some if you are using Next.js, or some of you are, like right now I'm using Lovable, so it's React application installed on the same server, where the backend will be actually WordPress, and Lovable, the front end which we will develop by Lovable like tools, is going to be hosted on the same server, where we are decoupling both of the front end and back end. And anytime a user requests the website from using the URL of us, from whenever a user going to actually request the website will be delivered via front end, and it's not going to call every time back end, and it's going to be less load on the server side as well. And this is how headless WordPress works. And now here's the crazy part. In this video we are going to learn, you don't have to do anything more and plugins and all that mess. You just have to follow this video, and by end of this video you're going to learn how you can actually set up your headless WordPress setup. And stick with me, I'm going to show you how you can combine your front end and back end on the WordPress on a single server. And once you see how fast is it, you are not moving back to your traditional WordPress setup. So let's start with this. I'm just starting with the process of creating a WordPress for front end itself. If you have a full vision of your website, what you want, you can actually give it in one single prompt to a ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will generate a structured prompt where we actually going to have all of the implementation so that the website can be delivered in a best optimal way. So all we have to do is just copy this. I'm copying this and going to back to the Lovable, and this is where I'm going to paste all of this prompt which I've got from my ChatGPT. You can write this whole prompt yourself as well, and once you do that, Lovable is going to generate a beautiful website just like this. And this is just a simple website. You can actually work around it, and you can actually make the website as beautiful as by just giving simple prompts, and the WordPress website will be automatically implemented, and the whole front end of the website will be automatically implemented by Lovable itself. So now we have already got our website done, so you can actually iterate this website as much as beautifully you want it to be just by giving prompts. After doing all of this stuff, all we have to do is now navigate to, now talking about Kloudbean. This is the platform where we're going to host our application. And talking about Kloudbean, it's a platform where you can have your front end and back end in just a few clicks. You don't have to actually implement the front end in somewhere else, or your back end is somewhere else. All can be actually set up in a one single server here, and it's super easy to use it. Support team is there 24/7 available to just make it sure your website is available, and you have a couple of other features as well. So let's dive into and log into one of our dashboards and see how it works. So once you click onto this, you will be actually able to actually log into this dashboard. This is the login which you see, and you can skip, or somehow you can actually give it this as well. So I'm skipping it right now. So this is the dashboard. So once you log into the dashboard, so this is the screen where we can see that all of the servers, manage databases, free startup apps, manage databases, flexible load balancers, and all these stuffs are coming up. I have already one server with me, so that is why it is showing 1 and 2. So once you log in and create an account with Kloudbean, you won't actually see any numbers here. It will be exactly similar to what 0 is, and all you have to do is just click on add server. Once you click on add server, you can see that there are 7 different cloud providers that you can actually choose out of anyone. Like if someone Linode, Vultr, or AWS, or DigitalOcean, or Google Cloud, you can choose any of them. And I'm going with the Vultr one, and you can select Vultr, Linode, anyone as you like. So for this particular tutorial, I'm using Vultr. All you have to do is select the WordPress itself. You can install any number of applications afterwards, but for the first installation, for the first launch of the server, you need to select one application at least. Now, according to the cloud provider, you will be having all of the data center locations, so you can select any of them. I am choosing Atlanta, Georgia, and you can change your name, or you can keep your name anything which your application is. Like I'm just putting it right now as a demo itself. Talking about the server name is also you can keep as you like. And after that, you just have to select the server size. It can be anything. You can start with a 1 GB as well, but I'm going with a 4 GB for this video. And once you click on launch now, it will be redirecting to the Stripe screen where you have to fill your details, all these details to your, like anything you can, like this more can be details, and you will be redirected to the Stripe screen. And once you add your credentials and subscribe to the service, it's gonna actually launching a 3-day free trial for you. And once you come back to the screen, you will actually start seeing a server for you. It's gonna take some time for you because it's gonna take 5 to 7 minutes to just get your server deployed and up and running. For me, it's already there, so I'm not really right now launching a new server. But for this demonstration purpose, I've already told you, like you can actually directly have the server launched by just few clicks. And once the server is deployed, all you have to do is just you can navigate into the server where you actually see your public IP address, your username and password if you want to do SSH and all. But I'm not getting into this all the stuff. So once you do this, you have your server. So all you have to do is just click on applications, so from the header, or you can also go from this particular globe is there, right? You just click on that, and once you click on that applications, you will be redirected to this particular screen where you will be able to see your WordPress installation. I have already installed my Frontend application, so let me show you how you can do that as well. All you have to do is just click on add application, and this pop-up will come up, and you have to select the application. Like for the Lovable, if you are using Lovable, or if you are using React, you can select React as well. Or if you are using Lovable, you can directly use Lovable. Or somehow you're using application, the front end is developed in Next.js, you have to select Next.js. So in this case, I'm using Lovable, so I'm just selecting Lovable site. And once you do that, and you have to select the server, you can have multiple servers within the same account. So that is as if this video, we have one single server, so it's only coming one. So just select the server, and once you do that, add application. It's gonna take 30 seconds, less than 30 seconds, and we will have another application be available here. So in our case right now, we have already this where I have already named it travel blog frontend and travel blog backend. So if you go into this, you will have your WordPress itself. Like just click on this, and your WordPress is going to be look like something like this. I have created some for WordPress for this demonstration purposes, already installed some of the blogs into this. I will show you how this is working at all. And so this is the first interface where you can actually manage your WordPress backend, deploy code. You can have access to the file manager. If you want to actually change anything in the file manager of the WordPress, you can just click on file manager, and it will be loading you to the file manager itself. Now coming back to the settings, whatsoever you actually want to change the settings of WordPress, you can do it from here. And like the permission setups, if you just want the application to have full permissions, you can select the admin, and you can get the full permissions to the files where you can install and uninstall or delete the plugins or upload images and all. So now talking about the other things is like migrations. Once you click on the migrations, you have this migration tab where you actually able to migrate your existing website to Kloudbean, and it's super simple. You just have to fill up the details, which is server or host, username and all, source path, app, and database name and all. So once you click on the proceed migration, it's gonna bring up your website wheresoever it is, and it's gonna host the website and make it live on this particular platform itself. And talking about the domain analysis, you don't have to do anything on the domain analysis, because once you actually come on the headless infrastructure, right? So we don't need actually to map it with any of the subdomains. You don't have to create a subdomain. All you have to do is just keep it with the Kloudbean site, because this is going to be a non-indexable URL. So anything comes on this particular URL is not going to index by any of the search engines. So you don't have to worry about if somehow you are actually having bad indexing on the Google itself. So talking about the next thing is SSL certificates. You can install your SSL certificates very easily, but still, since we are using the same domain name which we are getting directly from Kloudbean, so we don't need any SSL. Cron jobs, backups, you have backups as well. So you don't have to worry, it's automatically enabled. You don't have to do anything. According to the selection of the backups, you can actually select that. And this is how the application front end is. So just see that we have installed the React, another application Lovable site, right? So this is again here. So I'm deleting for this particular purpose because I have already one of my application installed there. Now talking about how to bring the Lovable code, which is this one, right? So this Lovable code will be brought directly by just publishing. All you have to do is publish this code. Once you publish it, you have to click on Git as well. It's gonna take time. And once you do that, just click on Git and just connect with your Git, and you will have your Git, the Lovable. You will have your front end developed by Lovable available on the Git itself. So all you have to do is just click on the code and click on this URL or string, which we can say copy, and navigate into your Kloudbean dashboard, which is going to be this React application, which we got just installed. So this is the React application we have. Now all we have to do is just to bring the Lovable is to just go click on deploy code, and we have to click on enable Git integration. Once you do that, you just have to paste this URL here itself. So there is two different parts to do this. So one is if I click on this to pull the code from the Git, it's not going to be authenticated because this particular repository is not public right now, and it's not being authenticated with this particular application as well. So how to do that? All you have to do is just click on this, copy to clipboard, copy the SSH key, and go back to your Git account. Once you navigate to your Git account back, all you have to do is click on settings. Once you click on settings, you have to scroll down. You will see there is a called deploy keys, an option called under securities. Once you click on that, you will have add deploy key button. You click on that, just paste this, and you can see anything. So I say my Kloudbean travel blog. Add key. You don't have to do anything other than that. So it's asking for the verify of the email. Let me do that as well. So once you do that, you will be seeing the screen where we are having one deploy key. So this particular repository is now authenticated with the application we installed on Kloudbean. And once you do that, you have this Git branch address. Just again click on this. So once you click it, we can see that the branch is updated successfully. So all you have to do is just select the branch, which is main branch, and clone now. So once you clone now, so what it's gonna do is it's gonna copy all of the Git repository code into your server, and now all you have to do is just pull and deploy. Once you click on the pull and deploy, you will start seeing that the build is going to be started on the process of making a build for the particular project, which is being developed by Lovable. So it's going to take a couple of seconds. Let's wait for that. You can keep on refreshing, and you can see how the deployment process is going on. You can keep on refreshing and to just see if somehow you wanted to see the logs as well, but I'm not doing that. So meanwhile, the system is actually doing that. I'm going to actually let you know one more thing, which is automated CI/CD implementation. So which is just click on this. Once you do that, what this means is whenever you change something in Lovable, it's gonna be automatically be deployed on your main website as well. So all you have to do is just enable this and click on this accordion button, where you have two things, which is one is webhook and another is secret code token. Just copy this. It's a super simple process. Again, navigate back to your Git account, and the same in the settings section. You have to go under the code and automation. You have to click webhooks. Once you select the webhook button, all you have to do is add webhook. Click on add webhook, payload URL. You just have to put the payload URL here and navigate back to your Kloudbean dashboard. Copy this secret token and going back to this and paste the secret token as well. So in the content type, you have to select application JSON, and you don't have to do anything other than that. Add webhook. So what happens now is whenever we publish a new change from the WordPress, it's going to be automatically deployed on Kloudbean. Now there is no manual work involved now, so it's automatically going to be deployed onto your main website. So since we have deployed our website, if you go navigate back to in our Kloudbean dashboard, we can see that the build has been completed. So if you see, right, so it's showing right now that it has been completed. So we can see that it's completed right now. So we have the website which we developed in Lovable is now available on Kloudbean site, and this is self-hosted right now. You don't need anything from Lovable now. So even if you delete the project from Lovable, it's going to be staying with the Kloudbean itself. So now going back to since this is your front end itself, so now we have to domain analysis. Now we have to navigate to map this particular front end, because this is your main website now. So you have to map your domain name, which is map your anything. It can be anything. So I'm just putting nothing actually right now, because I'm not going to map it for this year for demonstration. And just all you have to do is just save it. This is right now, it's not something which I'm putting right now, but you will have your domain name, so you can have that. And once you do this, all you have to do is make primary. Once you make it primary, it will be automatically going to redirect it to that particular website, and your domain name will be start opening with this particular website you have just got from Lovable. Now the process is where we are actually going to have our WordPress, right? So we have Lovable, the front end part, and the backend is WordPress. So see, we have already our application access URL. So how it gonna do is let me I've already logged into it. If you have not, so you can log into it. The credentials are available directly here. All you have to do is navigate to the dashboard, and I can show you that I have not actually installed any plugins into the WordPress. So you don't need any more of the plugins for this functionality to work. All you have to to do is just manage all the content from here. I've added some of the blogs to just again from the demonstration purposes. So just to do this, this is done. So now coming back to like how we are actually going to integrate the backend WordPress with the front end, which is developed by Lovable. So there is a process called API, WordPress API, which is already pre-enabled. You don't have to enable or something like that. All you have to do is just copy this URL and which you are getting from Kloudbean, and navigate to your Lovable. So this is the prompt which I have already written, which is this is my WordPress website domain. Please use to fetch all the data needed for the WordPress blog section. I'm commanding this Lovable to actually fetch all of the data for the blog section. Whatsoever the blogs, whatsoever the content is in their the WordPress website is going to be called directly, and I'm also telling that there is no authentication required. If you want to make it actually authenticated with something, you can enable that as well. So all you have to do is this, and once you do that, I'm just showing you that right now the blogs are something which has been created directly by Lovable. These are not blogs which we are bringing from WordPress, but once we push this and Lovable is going to start working on it, it's going to integrate our WordPress website with the Lovable which we have built right now, the front end part, and it's going to take a couple of seconds. So I'm pausing this video for this, and let's jump in once it is available back. So meanwhile we waited. Lovable has completed its task, so it has saying that it has successfully integrated your WordPress blog data. The website is now fetching the post from your WordPress API and develops them with proper loading states and falling back handling. Now we can see that the Lovable is telling us that successfully integrated the blog data. So now we can see that the blogs which we added into our WordPress is now available here itself. And if you see, right, so it's now loading the WordPress website. So the blogs we have on our WordPress and is now loaded here itself. So this is super easy and super duper good. Or if you want any changes to be made on the blog page, you can directly ask like giving example, if I go back to the travel stories, right? So if I just ask the Lovable to just make change to blog page where we wanted this to be show that this title should be part of the image we have thumbnail. So all we have to do is ask Lovable to do that. So can you make the title above the thumbnail and blogs? So I just have told it, and it's gonna change it as well. So it's gonna bring this title to the thumbnail itself. See how much time it's gonna take us for this. So yeah, so we can see that now the title is above the thumbnail, and so you can do anything actually to make it sure that you are actually having your unique style to just do this. And so this is how we actually integrated our front end with the back end itself, and now the WordPress is going to just to bring all of that stuff. And now coming back to the Kloudbean part, where if you go back to the Kloudbean, so coming back to the Kloudbean where we are actually having a front end and back end both are hosted on one single server, so you don't have to be worried about any of the stuff. And the same thing right now, we have just brought up some changes to Kloudbean, the website we have built, right? So if somehow we click on this is right now showing the older one, but if you hard refresh it, it's gonna bring the stories which we have brought, the travel stories which we have made changes. We have done nothing on the Kloudbean side because we have implemented CI/CD, right? So every time you make changes through AI, it's gonna be reflected automatically through Kloudbean itself, and you don't have to be worried about actually bringing every time any changes to brought up via AI. So this is the best way to do it. And now talking about if somehow you have an understanding, let's just give an understanding like how it is happening actually. So how this thing works is just click on this. So talking about the process of how the JSON works, right? So how the headless works itself. So the API is the WordPress. Every single WordPress website is actually having the WP JSON data, and so this is how actually the WordPress actually works, right? So we are populating this data which is coming on through the API to the front end itself and making it displayed in a way better way. And it's static site, so it's load way faster. You can see I can have the dark mode as well. I've implemented in this website. You can have that as well without actually implementing any plugins to your WordPress website. And if you see about us, you just click on about us or contact us. You just have a way faster website. And the coming part is if you compare it to the pricing. So if you want to see the speed of this website, right? So let's dive into the another part, which is to just test it how good the speed is of the website. All you have to do is just paste here, go into Google Speed, and we can see that the speed of the page is going to be super fast because it's a front-end website. You don't have to be worried about again installing and all. A lot of bloated code don't have to be tweaked and all. So let's do this. So we can see that the mobile score is 83, which is quite good. We haven't done nothing. At the same point of time, when we talk about the desktop, it's 98, almost 100. And even though we have images and all, because we are not actually pushing so much of pressure on the server, server, now your website, Headless WordPress website, is going to have the same server size. For 4 GB can actually have couple of thousands of people can visit on the single concurrency, and it's not going to actually crash your server as well. So this is how this whole Lovable, the front end and the back end actually thing works in the which we call as Headless WordPress. And I'm pretty much sure that this video is beneficial for you, how you can actually launch your Headless WordPress where you don't have to worry about any of the stuff. And thank you guys for staying this long. I guess you have learned this amazing concept and how you can actually launch your Headless WordPress websites and make your website super fast and stop wasting time with a lot of themes and optimizing and building with bulky builders, page builders like Elementor and all. And you don't have to waste your time in actually security loopholes, because now we don't have any plugins, right? So you don't have to waste your time on security plugins